Hello students, today we are going to see the 7th standard Unit-2 poem, the listener's book back exercise, okay? So you can see one that poem you can see, is there anybody there, said the traveller knocking the moonlight door and his horse in the silence stamped the grasses on the forest ferry floor and the bird flew up out of turret above the traveller's head and he smote upon the door again a second time. Is there anybody there? He said. But no one descended to the traveller. No head from the leaf-fringed sill leaned over and looked into his grey eyes, where he took the perplexed and still, but only the host of phantom listeners that dwelt in the lone house then stood listening in the quiet of the moonlight to that voice from the world, stood thronging the faint moonbeam on the dark stair that goes down to the empty wall, hearkening in an air stirring and shaken by the lonely travelers called Walter de la Mare. Okay, now we are going for the book back exercise. I'll read the following aloud. Find the line from the poem to match the pictures given below and write it. So the line only you are taking, and this a third line it's there, and this a horse in the silence stamped the grasses. Next one is, and a bird flew up out of the turret, knocking on the moonlight door. So leaf no head from the leaf fringed shell, but only the host of the phantom listeners, where he stood perplexed and still. Next one, read the statement, say true or false. Quote the lines from the poem and support your answer. Traveller came at noon, false. Knocking on the moonlight door, it's given there. House was situated in the forest, true. And that I just see for that quote, the poem line is given there, you can read it. There were ghostly listeners inside the house, true. The line you can read there, but only a host of phantom listener. Fourth one, the traveller came to the house by bicycle, false. Silence stamped the grass. The phantom answered and asked the travellers to go away, false. Stood listening in the quiet of the moonlight. Next one, answer the following. Who is the speaker? The poet is the speaker. What was the horse doing? The horse was champing the grass. Who were the listeners? The horse of phantom were the listeners. What did the traveller feel when nobody answered? The traveller was perplexed, he stood still. What kind of feeling does the poem create? The poem creates a feeling of mystery. Mystery means it's அதிசயம். ஒரு அதிசயமாக இருந்துச்சு அந்த poem நம்மளுக்கு ஒரு create பண்ணுறது. He walked in past and answered the question. Out of the forest, ferny flow, pick out the words of alternate means often in the previous poem I've said repetition of the consonant sounds. So you'll have what is consonant sound? Other than vowel sound in alphabets, all letters are called as consonant sound. Okay, A, E, I, O, U, that you know vowel letter, and the sound of these A, E, I, O are called as vowels. The sound of other all, okay, letters in English alphabets are called as consonants. So if in poem line, if any line is repeated, a repetition has done, so that we are saying alliterated. So forest, ferry, it's F is repeated 3 times. So that is the answer. Forest, ferny, flow, you want to underline the F. Okay, that. Pick out the rhyming words. So it said, head said, then men, said till, hall, call. Write the word that you are in the mystery. So you can go to the book, you can go and see that I'll give the answer that the mystery means just what is it? Moonlit door that's coming above the travel's head. So like that, it's coming as that its poem, it's mystery. Okay. Thank you, students. Study well, students.